There's a Bible phrase that says, "Hope long delayed makes the heart sick." It's a sickness. I used to have the illness known as passive hope. It's bad. And there's one that is even worse, and that is called happy hope. That is really bad. The man is 50, and he's broke, and he's still smiling. That's bad. So get serious. Make plans. Put them on paper. My suggestion from experience. There's a phrase from the Bible that goes, "Without dreams and vision, we perish." How true. Humans have this unique ability to aspire, to dream, to go for something, to become something. Without that, life is not life. We must have dreams and never give up on our dreams. I'd like to share with you some further observations I've made on goal setting. Understand that your goals, whatever they are affecting you all day long. Your goals affect your handshake, your attitude, how you feel. Your goals affect how you look, how you dress, how you walk, how you talk. All day, every day. Your personality, conversation, activity. It's all affected by your goals. I asked a man one time, "What are your goals for this month?" And he said, "If I could just scrape up enough money to pay these lousy bills." That was his goal. Hey, I'm not saying it isn't a goal. It is, but it's such a poor goal. It certainly isn't inspiring. You don't jump out of bed on Monday morning and say, "Oh boy, another chance to go out and scrape up the money to pay these lousy bills." The point is that goals should be fun. They should be big, challenging, rewarding. They should allow you to grow. Remember, too, that the major purpose of having a goal is not just to acquire the goal. The major reason for setting goals is to compel yourself to become the person it takes to achieve them. In other words, attaining the goal is of secondary importance. What's far more important is what you become in the pursuit of it.
It's easy to pull things back. It's very hard to ramp things up. And I'd rather start with something that's too big and pull it back into reality than start with something that's so easy that you can't really get it up. For example, don't set your goals realistically, set them entirely unrealistic. I mean, shoot for 80 and be disappointed when you hit 70, as opposed to shooting for 20 and being ecstatic when you hit 21. We beat our goal. Yeah, but it was a very low goal. I think to be frustrated and achieving something rather than ecstatic and achieving less is a better way to live. Not to mention you achieve more. I'm a great believer in that the greater good, like those things are like so big, they're ridiculous. I mean, my goal is 100-year goal is called world peace. So daunting, but that's the idea. If I fail, and I certainly won't achieve it in my lifetime, I like to think that what I'll contribute towards that ridiculous, idealistic, nonsense goal will be more than if I say, if I can just be happy by myself in my little house,
Right.
I mean, that's nice and all, but
that's good.
I like the idea of contributing to your neighbor as well.
You can't know how you're going to conduct a war before the war starts. You can have an idea, but you can't know fully. Just like if you were to say, hey, my goal is to X in my life, you don't know how you're going to be able to do that. Right?
Yeah, because you got to adjust.
Because you're going to make adaptations. Things are going to come up. Things are going to change. The battlefield changes. Your life changes. Things pop up. I mean, things happen. So I think that idea that you're going to know how you're going to execute something is far-fetched. I think actually, I should use the word idea. You should have an idea of how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
You should have an idea like, okay, well, this is what I need to get done. Mm-hmm. This is what I want to achieve in my life.
Yeah.
I want to do this. Mm-hmm. What's a simple one? I want to own a house. That's a simple one. That's a good place to start.
Yeah.
I want to own a house. Okay, well, let's think about how we're going to get there. You know, let's think about how we're going to get there. You have to build your credit. How do you build your credit? You have to borrow money. Some people they go to buy a house, they've never borrowed money before. You can't borrow money if you've never borrowed money. You can't borrow money for a house if you've never borrowed money for a car or some smaller object before. So you got to establish your credit. Then you got to have 2 years worth of income. Then you got to have a big fat down payment sitting ready. So there's things you got to do. There's things that you now that might change along the way. The idea is that you got to move towards that goal. Yeah. But that's what was so nice about hearing the Vietnamese commander's intent. Get close, split them up. Yeah. Boom, you go make that happen. Yeah. Hey, guess what? You want to buy a house one day? Save money, have good credit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you got to make money. How are you going to make money? You might make it driving Uber. You might make it delivering pizza. You might make, because you got your real job that's supporting your family, but then you need a little extra to throw in there. Well, that's why you end up driving Uber. You end up with whatever it is you're going to do. You need to make some money on the side that you can start stashing away.
So you got to, in a way, you got to fill your life with a bunch of goals you don't get jammed. Because
if you have small goals that lead to the big goal, right? So, for instance, you want to be financially secure and stable. What are you going to do? You're going to save some of your money. Okay, that's one thing. You're going to buy a house. That's another thing. You're going to pay off your car, and you're not going to buy expensive, dumb cars. You're going to buy cheap cars until you have the money to buy them with cash. You're going to make all these little things. You're going to work extra. You're going to do these things. So you're right. You have your broad goal. Yes. You have your long-term goal. Yes. And then you got your short-term goals that lead and are strategically aligned with that long-term goal.
You see, the beautiful part about goals and understanding it is goals are not to get. Goals is not, you don't set goals for acquisition. You set goals to grow. You set goals to reach inside and stretch and go where you've never been. You set goals to take you to a place you've never gone before. And you grow as a human being, and you know something, you never go back.
Let's say you have a goal that you want to achieve, but you have a lot of self-doubt or uncertainty. You haven't done it yet, or you've tried and you've failed. Your sense of self is gonna have some trepidation associated with it. It's like, can I do this? Can I do this? Do I deserve this? Don't I deserve it? Am I smart enough? Am I good enough? And so what you have to do is you have to take that goal, that's a conscious goal, and you have to impress the image, the vision of you achieving that goal into your subconscious mind. Why? Because the parietal lobe is part of your subconscious sense of self, and you've developed your sense of self over the last 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, depending on how young you are. And so when you take that image of achieving that goal, and for 1 or 2 minutes a day, just 1 or 2 minutes a day, close your eyes, and I want you to imagine, see yourself achieving that goal, overcoming whatever hurdles have ever been in your way or are in your way right now, and see yourself achieving the goal. Use your visualization muscle. Your occipital lobe, okay, is one of the biggest regions of your brain that you use all day long to see things. So when you use this just little technique of visualization, just see yourself and feel yourself achieving that goal, you start to override the existing self-image and identity that's there. 1 to 2 minutes a day is all you need to see yourself doing that. The people who took their goals out of their head, wrote them down with one little piece, which I'll share with you in just a moment, were 50% more likely to achieve their goals than the people that did not achieve their goals. 50% more likely to achieve their goals than people who didn't write their goals down. And so invest a little bit of time writing your goals down, but more importantly, why not look at them every day? Just to cognitively prime your brain on what it is that you want. right? So when you have your goals and you look at them every day, you're actually not just reinforcing, yes, this is what I want, giving your brain an instruction to focus on everything in your physical world and even in your imagination that can help you achieve it, but you're priming your brain to move from conscious to subconscious by the simple act of reviewing it every day.
One of the most valuable exercises you can engage in when setting goals is to ask yourself, what is my limiting step? What is the one factor that determines the speed at which I achieve my goal, or whether I achieve it at all, throughout my personal development? Your ability to identify your limiting step is one of the best demonstrations of your intelligence and a step toward building self-confidence. Your capacity to eliminate this limiting step is one of the best demonstrations of your overall competence in achieving anything you want. In studying everything that has been written or said about personal development and success, the conclusion I came to was that your level of self-confidence is probably the critical factor in everything you accomplish. When you have enough self-confidence, you will try almost anything. Because success is largely a matter of averages or probabilities, the more things you try, the more likely it is that you will achieve greatly. The same is true for you. By setting goals, trying more things, engaging in more activities, and exploring more opportunities, your probabilities of success increase dramatically. The only real limiting step that you might have is your level of self-confidence. When you reach the point at which you believe in yourself absolutely, the barriers that exist in your external world will not stop you. The major obstacles to success always lie within the mind of the individual. They are not contained in external circumstances or situations or people. By building self-confidence, you win the inner battle. The outer battle seems to take care of itself. I've learned 3 important ideas for building self-confidence. First, accept complete responsibility for yourself and for everything that you are and ever will be. Second, accept that you can change your situation only by going to work on yourself and learning the things you need to know in order to be better. Third, setting goals with timelines for the things that you want and then working on them every day to bring those goals into reality builds your self-confidence.